Hi, good morning, everyone. My same request, please open your galleries. I can see your lovely faces. Morning, Rajni. Morning, Jaisal. Pala was the first one to join. Vashla, Vimla ji, Pratima. Please open your screens. I can't see you. Neha, Om, Amita, Geeta. Dharmesh is doing it from the car. So, before we begin today's session, I have a question to all of you. And I want everyone to be on the chat or just raise, unmute, and share with me. How many of you are happy in life? How many of you will say, I am happy? Rajni, I can just see it. Like, you need to put it on the chat. Put it on the chat and tell me how many of you are happy. So, raising your hand, Pratima, I do not understand whether that means I am happy or that means, I don't know. Amrita is saying she's happy. Then who else? Mita is happy. What about others? Pala, Rajni, Jaisal, please write message. How many of you are happy? And how happy are you? I guess some are saying I'm happy, some are saying I'm not happy. 80% happy. So on the scale of 0 to 10, contentment is not happiness. In the pursuit of happiness daily. Why do we have to pursue happiness? Who will answer me? Is that something we need to take it as our work? Is that something which, we need to consider that, oh, every day I need to pursue this. Every day I have a perseverance. I must follow it up. Otherwise, what will happen? Will I lose it? If I have grabbed it, am I going to lose it? Only mindfully trying to be consistent. Consistent with what?
Happiness as a state of mind and being.
Happiness is as a state of mind and being. Like, how do you do that?
Watch your thoughts and reactions. I mean, that's one thing I'm working on. So, yeah.
How do you do that? Like, what
Um,
reactions?
so, in reactions, as in, like, if something happens, I knew I'd react immediately. But to take that 1 second and, breathe in or take a pause and understand how the other person be offended, and just to watch myself from like a third person do that, I think that brings about a certain amount of happiness. And that takes a lot of like mindful amount of work to be watchful of self. And
I
yeah.
which means you are basically saying that happiness has a direct connection with how we react in life
No,
and
no,
how we
no, no,
communicate in life.
no, no. This is just saying that when I say I'm trying to keep consistent, this is how it's working for me. I mean, like when I do this, when I feel like I'm improving by the moment and living more in the present, that is what makes me happy.
Yeah. So how are you improving? Like what you mean is that when you stop reacting and you rather act in the situation, or you have more patience to listen to the other person or come from the place of understanding. And that is what makes you feel that you are improving in life.
Yeah, in a way, yes. So self improvement does, but even sometimes if I haven't been mindful and I just react, like I just say what comes to my mind and it feels good, that time also like I'm happy. So anyway, how I feel within and it connects, I mean, it's happiness.
Yeah. So it's your inner state of being, like how you feel from within. And personally, you have chosen to stop reacting, and personally, you have chosen to be mindful about the situation. So the fact that makes you happy in it, that you are working on improving yourself, or the fact that makes you happy is that you have become more patient. Which part makes you more happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one makes you more happy? That you
Which
have
one?
become more.
Both, 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 everything. Because one
And
won't work without the other. I mean, some way.
the day you still react, you said even that day also you are happy. So that day, why are you happy?
Uh, because I feel like I've said it exactly how I wanted to, and it's communicated, and that's how I'm truly feeling inside. So while I do that, also I just feel like there's a boundary that I've honored itself, and I'm okay with it. So I'm happy at that time also. If I feel like, oh, that was too much of a reaction, too harsh, I will go back and say sorry. But if I feel like no, I had to tell someone that this is how I function and that's a no, or like whatever, stop this sort of thing, then I'm okay with honoring myself and reacting in the moment and being happy.
So, Neha, what you mean is whenever you feel you are truthful to yourself, that makes you feel happy,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Whatever way it is, like you have figured that probably in past you were reacting, and then whenever there is a reaction, it leads to a guilt trip because then we feel bad, like either like expressed or unexpressed views. Either we feel guilty that I think I should have said that, then you are feeling very guilty about it कि मैंने तब क्यों नहीं बोला, like why did I remain quiet at that moment, because after the moment happened you said I should have said that, I should have done that, I should have, why was I quiet, and that's why you are unhappy. Or in another reason you feel I think I reacted, the entire situation and environment went haphazard, and then you are feeling very bad about it, like does it really matter to me, was that reaction really compulsory, like because reactions are normally not said in a very nice tone. The reactions are normally like charged up with your emotion, and those reactions are like your, unfortunately not with your good emotions, they're like you are either angry, you are frustrated, and that frustration and anger comes out. Probably you may feel sorry about it, but by then it's already gone, like by then you cannot take it back. And again, as Neha said, then that means you are not being true to yourself, because at a soul level you are not that angry person. Are you that angry person? Are you that frustrated person? Do you wish to be that angry and frustrated person? So being true to yourself makes you feel happy, right? So now my question to you, Neha, is why are we all in the pursuit of happiness? Why is it not just a simply a state of being?
I believe it's a state of being. The more you're authentic yourself, the more it is a state of happiness across any circumstances, with people, without people, in an external environment, in your most inner work. I think whenever you're being your most authentic self, is by default a state of happiness. Whether you're looking um, at remembering a good memory or you're looking at your deepest shadows, the more and more you're in your authentic self, the more you're in a state of happiness. At least that's how it works for me.
Is being your authentic self is something which is very natural, or you need to constantly be in
It
pursuit of
was
being your authentic
natural.
self?
Yes, I think it was natural, but over a period of time, with certain amount of conditioning, and societal prejudices, I think somewhere we lose that innocence and authenticity. But at least since the last few years that I've been doing inner work and healing, I've come more and more in touch with myself, and I love it. And I was like, why was I even being that person? So I can literally feel the different versions of myself. So yeah, the more I'm authentic with myself, the more I question, why did I think like that? Why did I do it like this all these years? And that layer falls apart is like another moment of happiness. So yeah.
So what Neha means is, correct me if I'm wrong and I've understood your point wrong, is that from the time she started doing her inner work, she's becoming a better version of herself. So there is a mindfulness about it, and that awareness and the mindfulness constantly allows her to be her authentic self. And since she is connected to her authentic self, that has raised her level of happiness. But that's why, like, she feels if happiness is purely a state of being, but being your authentic self is not, you require to struggle because there is a mass consciousness. You are getting information from people all around, and knowingly or unknowingly does impact us. And I think more than that, we all as a human have come here to improve through our experiences. And when we say experiences, it doesn't always necessarily mean the experiences happen as per our expectation. I'm not defining any experience as a positive or a negative experience, but I think a human tendency is to put it into a positive or a negative thing. Whenever we feel things don't work as per our expectation, it's negative. When it works as per our expectation, it's a positive thing. And that's why a constant struggle. And then how our beliefs molded are the beliefs we acquire from people around us. Is that what I've understood it correctly? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Neha, for joining. That helps everyone a lot. Thank you for
Thank you so
joining.
much.
Anyone else who would like to come here before, I actually share something else with you? Anyone else have any perspective towards life in
Um,
pursuit of happiness?
Ma'am, can I say something?
Yeah, who's this?
Jaisal.
Yeah, Jaisal, just one sec. Jaisal, I will. Can you open your screen?
My
Oh, I
screen is
can't.
open.
So sorry. Yes, Jaisal, please share.
Ma'am, I feel when I uh, don't come up, don't reach up my own expectations, I'm unhappy.
So your reason of unhappiness is you yourself.
Yes, not other people, it's me myself.
And what can be done about it? So,
Uh,
see, equation is very simple. If I have to go back to my school days and maths, if A is not equal to B, and I want A equal to B, then probably I change one of the denominator, right? Because so either you get your expectations down, or you are in acceptance of how it works. One of the two. There cannot be a third way out.
right.
Because no matter what, I do not know about what Jaisal has expectation with her own self. But no matter what, for example, I have decided that if I do something and then I'm happy, this is my expectation from my own self. Okay. Now, if this is what I expect from myself, and I'm happy because I think I am performing as per my expectation, will I remain stagnant there or I will raise my bar? We constantly raise our bar. If I do not know how to make a chapati, then probably I will start that, if I know how to make the atta, then probably I know when I can make one chapati. Then I'll say, oh, the day I'll make a round one, then I think I have done good enough. Then I will say, but I mean, if I increase my speed, then I'm happy with it. Then I would say, but when I can make variation of it, because we get bored of eating the same chapati. When I can make variation of it, then I'm happy with it. So constantly from me to reach from point A to point B is an effort because it does not happen like this. How will you make a round chapati variation of it so quickly and that, I mean, the minute your hand goes there, it's round, it's perfect, pura fula hua roti hai aapka. It's extra soft, extra nice. Can anyone do it who have never ever seen that before, never done it before, day one? Is that anyone on the group right now who can claim that, oh, I can do it on day one? You give me any task, day one, even if it is an unknown thing, I can do it. If anyone can do it, please raise your hand, unmute yourself right now and tell me I can. Anyone? Is that possible? Yeah. I will tell you right now, do the downloads for the entire group. Channelizing what each one requires, what would help them, and do it effortlessly. It's not you speaking, it is the creator speaking through you. Remember that. These are my conditions. Do it now. Some of you have already learned, some of you have not learned. Right? Nothing in life just happens overnight. How do I make a round chapati as per my expectation? I have to consistently do it. Right? So there are two things. Whether Jaisal says she's unhappy, whether Neha says she's happy, whether someone says I have contentment. Each one of us sail in the same boat somewhere. Because somewhere we have to constantly remind ourselves it's out of habit. Happiness is a habit. Happiness is a choice. If these two things I ingrain here constantly, then probably because if I have an expectation, when I start working towards my expectation is that I become a perfect roti maker. I have to take a step towards it, right? When I take a step towards it, then how I choose to feel about it, even if day one, it's the Indian map, what I make, and it's a burnt one. And it's not something which anyone can eat. My dog will also refuse to eat that chapati. It is okay. It's a choice. I can either feel that, oh, wow, that's a piece of art I have created. And that's good from, starting from zero. And I'm good. I took effort. People think about it and do nothing about it. Like, I have done something about it. I thought of doing it. So I have a choice to, show that map to people and say, look at this. This is what I did. Or I can choose and I want to hide it and not tell the world that, oh, this is what I did because it's not perfect. My sister makes the round one and I don't know how to. My mother makes a beautiful chapatis. I don't know how to. I compare and I'm very unhappy about it because I have not fulfilled my expectations. So number one thing, Jaisal, it's a choice in that moment, how you choose to feel happy or how you choose to think about it. The second thing, it's a habit. One day I'll be able to make a round chapati. Having that awareness, I've just started. Consistency is the key. Like if I do it every day, one day I reach to that point. So Neha spoke about being consistent with working with her own self to be her authentic self. And she said, I started doing my inner work and then I'm feeling good. But she did not do it for that 5 minutes, for that half an hour, for one day. I'm sure she has been doing it consistently for a long time. Yeah, it is not one day matter. It is not few days, few months, few years. And she did not sit saying like, "Ek saal se roz kar rahi ho." Oh my God, so much work to do. Can't it be just normally I mean, isn't it the irony of life? I require to consistently work to be my own self. How funny is that? Like I require to work towards it, which means I'm so vulnerable to other people's beliefs, suggestions, energy that constantly I'm not being my own self. And then I have to constantly work again to be myself. If you have to work towards being like somebody else, I can understand. Because someone else is not me, that's not who I am. And because that's not who I am, I need to consistently work towards it. But it is not Neha's story, it is my story, Jaisal's story, Bala's story, everyone's story. Unknowingly, We constantly get colored by what people are and how they are, what their expectations are, and we forget our soul's element of joy, something which is very natural to us, something who we are. And we need to work towards it. And how do we achieve it is again a habit. Our virtues define our lives. Something which comes to me very naturally, I don't need to work towards creating it. There are certain people who naturally communicates in a way, who naturally think that, oh wow, I made an Indian map in my route. Even if there is a robbery in the house, they are like, oh wow, we'll get to buy new things. How nice. I was not able to dispose it off. Now my dress is burnt. My wedding outfit last minute got burnt. So much excitement. Now, I have no plan and I'll get to work towards it. Oh, wow. So nice. And probably the number of such people is very less, but they do exist. I do know such people in my life. And I'm like, are you crazy? You were a group of 15 people. Out of that, 13 of you lost your bags abroad without money got lost. And police is not helping you. And everybody's excited. Wow. I wanted to buy. My bag remained, others got lost. I am going to get new things. And that's how they communicate and that's how they do. Right? It's a habit, it's an inborn thing. Our virtues will define us. Jaisal, first, are you clear with what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
It is like that, and that's what I will explain people, how we can actually change it. So happiness is a choice, friends. Happiness is a habit. And any habit creation that we do, we require to do it consistently. You can choose one part, as Neha chose one part that she is right now focusing on being her authentic self. Probably if next time if she will come on the group and I'll ask her, she would have started something other. Now she just knows she has mastered that art to be her authentic self. She is not in pursuit of it. She knows it. So now something else she has started to make a better version of herself. Something it comes very naturally to her. Right now, expression is important for her. And she's working towards being able to express in the words that she would like to have, how she expresses it to people at the right time to the right people, sometimes by choosing to remain quiet, sometimes giving space to herself and them, sometimes still what she considers as reacting to it, but still being able to express. Then she will master that art and she just knows it. Like she doesn't have to be mindful about it. Then she would have started something else to be a better version of herself. Or as we say, the Jesus knew the truth of everyone. They are going to poison him. But he was not struggling that, oh, I want to express them. Why are you poisoning me? Because he was in acceptance of it. He still loved them for who they were. He still were fine with it. And to be able to reach to that state, if we are not at that stage, if we don't have the Jesus frequency, if we don't have the Krishna frequency, so then probably we require to work towards it. And then we master it. Our virtues define us. So everyone keeps happiness as a final goal. I would say look at your life and see what are the virtues you have already mastered. What are the virtues which you think you should ideally have? and you would like to work towards mastering those virtues. Whatever you will master, you will carry it forward life after life. Not only that, it will help you here, and happiness will be a byproduct. It will automatically connect you to other state of being. And that requires everyday awareness, effort, actions. Deciding a goal that, like this month, probably I'm working towards this particular aspect of my life. Our subconscious memories, our genetic programming, the programming from the mass consciousness does come in our way, because what it creates is our beliefs, the beliefs which are limiting us. And as you all know, we have acquired there from this lifetime, from our ancestors, our past lives. At our soul level, we have millions of beliefs which probably is blocking us, limiting us. And we want to be limitless. We want to break free that. That makes us feel very, very connected with our own self. The self which we are very happy with, we are very proud of. The one who has mastered those multiple virtues, the inner peace, harmony, being in a state of bliss, compassion, you care, the courage, you know how to articulate your feelings, in complete acceptance, surrender. There are so many of them. So the day we actually master all of them, and it's not about being perfect or imperfect. In your imperfection, you are just perfect. At whatever level each one is, it's just perfect. It's from here, every day, how we are pursuing it will define our lives. Is everyone with me here for the same? So if I say that, am I in pursuit of happiness? Probably I think each one of us are. But probably I feel that I am in pursuit of mastering those virtues. But how I do it, I have chosen the pursuit of happiness to master my virtues. But I choose one for a time being where I think about it deeply. Where can it block me? What can I do about it? Why is it not? Why do I cannot create a foundation of which is trust? Trust is connected to self-belief. And that's how, like at Cesta, we actually came up with this happiness habit for the entire 1 year. And probably for people who are doing it, it might be going on till 1.5 years. Because I realized that, I cannot, without getting deeper, I cannot overnight change it. It requires 2 sleep cycles for the human mind to even take in something. It requires 21 days to create a neuropath. It requires 3 months for our every body cell to program with it. Then why do I have this expectation that, I would change it like this? I would probably, but next time, the memory which is stored within me, something which I have mastered, will remain with me life after life. But something which I have not mastered, I require to work towards it. And it gives me a lot of fun, contentment, and enjoyment when I actually sit and prepare those modules. Because you really go deep, you dive deep into it, understanding, each person, like how, where we get stuck, why we get stuck, what happens there. Is there a 50% chance of me to let it go? Is there a 90% chance of me? If I do it once, my body recognizes it as that I know it how to do it. It's a memory I have. And then once that The way in which your old memory triggers you, Amrita, your positive memory also gets triggered. How when you go to the gym, they say that it's the exercising has a muscle memory. If you have ever done like cycling before, swimming before, you'll never forget it, even if you don't do it for years. The muscle has that memory. The minute you will get into water, the minute you are on a bicycle, you will know how to do it. Similar way, mastering your virtues. If you have taken effort and you are not there on 100, it doesn't matter. Even for a short time, you felt you have become 10 on 10, from 0 to 10, where 0, you don't know how to do it, and 10 is the maximum. Even if once you have seen the difference that from 0, I became 5, or from 2, I became 8, or from 3, I became 9, from 5, I became 10, whatever the number is a logical game. But like once you have experienced it, your soul recognizes it. It's an imprint. You have already opened the pathway, and now it's easy for you to do it. So the old memories gets triggered because that is a way it gives you an opportunity to rethink about it. That where are you getting stuck? What limiting belief are you holding on to? Now you have tools to identify. Because during those workshops, we actually dissect it. We properly dissect it. Like, what are the reasons why I can't do it? We do the releases. We identify in my life, what are the factors? What is my checklist? How do I check whether I am actually on that path, or do I actually have the problem? There are times I feel, oh, I have heard from so many of people who are participating. They say, oh, I always thought I started the trust issue and I thought I don't have an issue of trust. But the day one I heard you and I was like, no, it shook me up. The day two, I realized, no, this is an issue. I always thought commitment is not an issue. And then they say like, oh, I realize, oh, this is an issue. This is where I'm going wrong. This is what I require. So there is a checklist, where I know that, how do I know I'm happy? How do I know I have an issue of commitment? How do I know my life is based on trust? How do I know I don't have imposter syndrome? How do I know I'm in acceptance? How do I know that I have become fear-free? And like, even if there is a fear, I use it as an opportunity. I convert my fear into strength and create magic in my life. So these are all the topics which were given to people as a reason to like dissect them and to master a few virtues during that time. Friends, if you are in search of your own inner self, you have identified, please connect to the virtues of life and doing it. If you think you are doing it, but you are not understanding, then join us. Join the Happiness Habit program. Like, it's not that I am claiming that I have mastered all the virtues. But the minute I sit to create it, I'm also very much participating with all the other who are participating. I'm also part of them. I'm also doing it because that mass consciousness impacts me also. I also have my genetic programming. Everyone has. If anyone claims that they don't have, then probably it's not true. Because the day we actually master everything, we stop the death and the life cycle. If I'm alive and I'm claiming that I don't have it, it's not true. Yeah? Anyone, any question here? Because if you understand the concept before I move towards the downloads, then probably you are like being more mindful about it and you will start developing one virtues. Anybody has any question or you guys have understood it? If you have a question, please unmute and ask. Or we'll move towards the download so that we allow ourselves to be that. Everyone has understood it? No doubts, no questions. I don't
Ma'am,
see
can I?
anyone. Yes, please.
When you say connecting to life's virtues and doing them, what exactly do you mean?
When you say connecting to the
Life's virtues and doing them, what does that mean exactly? What virtues and
tell me
doing what?
what are the virtues?
Of life and doing
What are
them,
the
like
virtues? What are the virtues? Name few of them.
patience, trust, faith. Um,
More.
uh, I'm drawing a blank. Uh,
So think it from this way. What are your blocks? Your fears, self-doubts, all are your blocks. There
yeah.
are multiple of them. Like, in our No Reason Happiness, we give the list of like 100 virtues.
Hmm.
So there are like many of virtues. So similarly, like many of the things which block. Now, to be a fear-free thing, what virtue one requires? Courage, brave, right?
Yeah.
So if self-doubt is my block, what will be my virtue I require? Self-acceptance, self-belief, integrity, self-honesty, like everything, self-confidence, right?
Yeah.
This is like there are multiple virtues. The virtues, I'm not even calling them, the reason I asked you to repeat it is also you said life's virtues. What I'm calling it is these are the virtues soul has.
Okay.
It was an inborn thing, like soul has it. Somewhere with so many layers of the limiting beliefs, we have forgotten it. That this is who I am, truly I am. We do have all those virtues. These are our inner qualities of the soul. But because there are so many prints, we remain at the outer surface. To reach to a place, we have to pass away, right? And like if I want to reach inside here, I will have to open this and then go there. I can't without passing it. And like when I get stuck here, I'm fearful. So now what will help me to break this wall? The courage, oh, I can. Consistency, discipline, that no matter what, I'm reaching here. And then I connect there. So these are my limiting beliefs, which is not allowing me, and the certain qualities which I thought defines me now. Fear defines me, anger defines me. If these are the things which is defining me, I require those virtues to make that path. So these are the virtues of the soul. How do we do it? We require to that's exactly Neha I explained. When I started this happiness habit course, it was purely from that energy because I realized people who are consistently working on themselves, including our students and all, whenever they used to personally message me and say, ma'am, we are stuck here, ma'am, this is a problem. I require that when they are in the class, when we are there, they are empowering and they are like, they were here, they have reached here, they are much higher. Because they are mindful about it, they have the tools to change it. But then things will get us. Sometimes we are in that stuck, some memory triggers, something happens when things don't work our way out, and something will pull us down. What will help me is like this becomes my second thing, like how I brush my teeth every day. I do it every day, every single day. Somebody holds my hand and tells me that, oh, this month we are working on developing our trust, trusting our own selves, trusting other, attracting trustworthy people. This month we are working on our fears. This month we are working on our commitment issues. This month we are releasing our traumas. And that's how we develop those virtues. Identification of that, is overthinking actually an issue or destructive thinking is an issue? Otherwise, there would be no invention in the life if people would not have done overthinking. So overthinking is not negative, but destructive thinking is. How do I change my destructive thinking to my productive thinking? So that's where, like, I thought, like, we must have a group, a community where we are consistently working towards it. Like, every day I see that video, I understand something will trigger, and then I release it. Then I listen to the meditation, I reprogram. Then I reflect on my 1 week's journey of it. Then I again do it. And that's how the entire happiness habit program came into existence. So that's what I was saying, that, we started it in August, we launched it in August. 5 modules are done right now. A trust issue module is going on. And we are still preparing new ones. And that's where, like, that entire journey started from, for me and for everyone else who have joined it. That's how we master our virtues.
Is there
When
any
I work for 2 months for my trust, do you think there is a chance of me improving in it?
Yes.
So that's exactly like, because initially it was 1 month, we were giving for one topic. Then I realized it was overwhelming for people. They require some breather. They wanted to absorb it, like, to practice it. And I'm like, okay, like, now we will move towards the second stage. I don't want you to just hear it, like, little bit you have taken and it goes out. I want you to absorb it. Let's move towards the second stage of it. And, like, now for 2 months, we will work only on trust issues.
Is there
Yes,
any
Neha?
way we can see this list of virtues of the soul that you mentioned, the 100 virtues? Is it like a list or
Sure.
something we can see somewhere?
Yeah, sure. So, like, we'll share it with you. And I think more than like just getting the list of it, like, work towards mastering it.
Yeah, yeah. Just to like even know that all of this is there, because I said
Yeah.
three and then I drew a blank and I was like, what are the other virtues? So just to bring it to like my space.
I identified them when I was preparing my No Reason Happiness workshop. And I knew happiness has a direct connection only and only with your virtues and nothing else. I'm like, people need to know. Like in Theta, we speak about these virtues and we consistently work towards mastering those virtues. But, like, in life, when we actually take such issues where I would say, like, because till the time you have not cleared trauma, you can't have trust. Till your inner child is not healed, your fear doesn't go out. That's body's natural mechanism to protect you. I cannot say I'm not healed your inner child and I'm telling you become brave. Both, I mean, they are the wheels, they will work together only. So I really thought about it, and I am like, I mean, for me to help people to develop that courage and bravery, I'll have to work on their traumatic experience of life. I'll help them to release the trauma first. And then, like, I mean, without this, I cannot talk about something else. It has to get cleared from the subconscious. Like just having awareness of these are the virtues doesn't help, because I need to work towards it. Ideally, Neha, I would say, like, work towards, like, I mean, join happiness habit, like, do something about it. If you're working, then you set your own plan, but do something about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we will share the list of virtues.
Thank you
If you
so
want, next week we can take that topic and we will share the list of virtues, but then we will not be able to do something about it. But we'll share the list and we'll say these are the virtues we have.
So in the
For
following class, we can do something about it, no?
No, we cannot. The happiness habit program of the year is for that, because
Okay.
it's not something which is like half an hour can be done. It's like I can't make a round chapati in half an hour.
Yeah.
I need to work towards it. I need to understand. I need to dissect it completely. I need to release. I need to do so much of release there. I need to change those limiting beliefs. I need to reprogram my subconscious mind. It requires, when I do that, and then I can measure that, oh, now have I changed? I need to take action. We give them worksheets, we give them actions. Every day there is one activity which they have to do. So there are like multiple things you have to do consistently, like all simultaneously together. That is what it will change. How in half an hour or 40 minutes talk I can help you change it? Does it?
Yeah, I can
I
understand.
can explain you about it, but then you need to do it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
To
Thank
know
you so
you're
much.
worth it.
Yes, you're
So,
right.
yeah, let's do the downloads because we don't stop without it. So, would you all like to know what it feels like to allow yourself to connect to the true nature of your soul and your authentic soul self? And that you understand it through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane or creator of all that is. You know how to connect to your divine self and to operate with the divinity that you are. It is safe, it is possible for you to move beyond the constant judgment of the self, and it is safe for you to create a reason of unhappiness as you are not being able to fulfill your own expectations. You know what it feels like to be in the present, having the mindfulness and the awareness of your every thought, your vocabulary, spoken, unspoken words, your behavioral pattern, your energy field, how you articulate your feelings, your way of communication, your connection to the self and others, your connection to the divine. And you operate with the same without feeling stagnant, without blocking yourself, without pulling yourself down. You allow yourself to grow in every moment. You allow yourself that feeling of joy. You allow yourself to be in harmony, to be in state of bliss, and that it is completely possible. You know how to take the best foot forward and to take the next step in life towards it. It is safe, it is possible. You are deserving of creating beautiful realities for yourself, and it's completely possible. Into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the four level of your belief work, for each one's highest and best, in the highest and best possible way for each one now. Please say yes to receive the feelings. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator, show me. I understand what it feels like to let go of the excess weight of the fears, worries, anger, resentment, regrets, prejudices, grudges, hatred, and the fear of future, the worries for others, the burden of life that I'm holding on to. I know what it feels like to be in complete acceptance of the situation, surrendering those situations to the divine to just simply transform it and allow myself to break free those chains and allow myself to feel lighter, energetic, vibrant. I know how to bring this energetic, vibrant energy in my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. It is safe, it is possible. I know how to live my daily life with the same. Into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the four level of your belief work. For each one's highest and best, in the highest and best possible way for each one now. Say yes to receive the feelings. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator, show me. Passing unconditional love, light, and healing to everyone. Just visualize yourself in the bright golden light, clearing and cleansing your fears. And in a pearly iridescent white light, now feeling lighter. And just affirm to yourself, I'm getting healed in every moment of my life. I am healed. Just visualize your physical body, your mental, your emotional and spiritual self being healed. You all can open your eyes. When I was doing downloads, before I said your body is healed, the energies was much better. The minute I said, like, make an affirmation, I'm healed, the energy started becoming heavy. That's the level we all are. We are not even in acceptance of the feeling that I'm healed. The minute, I said that, the group energy suddenly became heavy. Before that, when I guided with after the downloads and then it had become so beautiful and light. And the minute I wanted to restore it with affirmation and I said, just say I'm healed, the energy suddenly became heavy. So just tell yourself, I choose to be healed. I'm deserving to be healed. It's okay. Yeah. And gradually, as I said, consistency, discipline, like every day when we are mindful about it, it does change. But we take one thing at a time so we don't get overwhelmed with it. Listen to it again, today's talk. Make your own notes. Take the downloads again. Because when I download it for all of you, it's always with an intent that whoever listens to it afterwards on the video also, the downloads be instilled into them. Those feelings will be instilled into them. So life is beautiful. We all are here as a spark of that light and joy. Let's connect back to that joy and light. Thank you everyone for joining, and it is the community effort. If my mass consciousness can impact me negatively, it can impact me positively, and I can be that change to spread that change around me. So hold that torch, like you be the one who is bringing that light. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll see you all next Thursday with the list of virtues as demanded by Neha. Thank you. Thank you. See you
Thank
all.
you so much, ma'am. Thank you for today.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.